Are you struggling to draw shear force diagrams? In this video, I will show you how to quickly identify shear force diagrams, and I will show you a step-by-step process. Using this simple sign convention, discover how to handle uniformly distributed loads, reactions, and moments with ease. If you are a civil or structural engineer, this video is for you if you want to clear up your basics. By the way, if you're new here, I am Dr. Jawed Qureshi, Senior Lecturer at University of East London. On this channel, we talk about structural engineering. This is part of my video series on IStructE Certificate in Structural Behavior, or simply if you want to improve your basics of structural engineering, this video is for you. In this example, we have to identify a correct shear force diagram. Ignoring self-weight, the anti-clockwise shear forces are drawn as positive. This is a sign convention which I will use for this problem. And as usual, positive forces are drawn over here and negative are drawn over here. If I draw the deflected shape will look like this. And immediately looking at it, because this force is pushing the beam up, that's the reason that this reaction should be downwards and this reaction should be upwards. And that will really determine how we can plot shear force diagram for this beam. Looking at the options, option C is not possible because we have load over here. Option D is not possible as well because we have loading here. At this point, you saw that we have uniformly distributed load. So uniformly distributed load will always have some kind of inclined line. Now we have option A and option B. As we have a downward reaction at this point, and here we have some upward force, which is creating anti-clockwise moment. Anti-clockwise moment should be drawn on the positive side, and positive side is here. Here we don't have positive side, this is negative side. It means that this option should be incorrect. So the correct option is option A. The direction of reaction here should be downwards here and upwards over here. When we have this direction of reaction, then the shear force over here, it is pushing it up. So this should be drawn like this. And this is creating anti-clockwise moment. So anti-clockwise is positive. And here it is pushing it down by some amount. And then there's nothing in between these two forces. And then again, this force is pushing it down. And we have nothing over here. And then we will go up over here. And this is the negative side. So this is our correct shear force diagram, which is option A. Option A is correct one. The others are incorrect. Let me move to this question. This is a very simple one actually. We have loading applied over here. The reaction is going to be upwards. We have to identify shear force diagram. Self-weight is ignored. This is the direction of forces, and this is how we will draw it on a shear force diagram. Here the reaction is upwards, and this is creating a clockwise moment, and you know that clockwise moment is considered as negative, so it should be drawn on the negative side. So the diagram will simply look like this. So inclined line is not possible. We will discard it. This inclined line isn't possible either. This is the diagram when we have simply supported beam and uniformly distributed load. So this is wrong. The correct option is option B. This is a clockwise moment or clockwise forces. So clockwise are considered negative. So immediately I can draw this like this. So this is our SFT. This is one of the most simplest one. We will have upward reactions at both ends. This is a really very simple question. This is a sign convention. Anti-clockwise forces are positive, and this is how it should be drawn. And the resultant reaction is going to be, the resultant force is going to be downwards. And when we have a distributed load, then most of the time we will have inclined lines. So here this force is pushing it up, and this is distributed, so we will go down. So here we have positive, and here we have negative, and this is how we draw the shear force diagram for a simply supported beam with a uniformly distributed load. Let us see what options do we have. This looks like a bending moment diagram, so this is incorrect. This is the diagram when we have a point load applied, so this is incorrect as well. And this is a moment diagram when we have a central point load applied, so this is incorrect as well. This is there to confuse us. And positive and negative, the correct option is option D. So this is the correct one. Let me now move to the next question. We have to identify the correct shear force diagram. Ignoring self-weight, anti-clockwise shear forces are drawn as positive. This is a sign convention which I will use here. And this is how I'm going to draw it on the baseline. Positive upwards and negative downwards. For this beam, we will have upward forces, and we have UDL. So upward forces are going to bring the diagram upwards, and between this force and this force I have got nothing, and this UDL will bring it down as inclined line, and we have nothing in between these two forces, and it will be at the top. So we have positive forces over there, and we have negative forces. So this is how we draw the shear force diagram for this very simple beam. Let's see what options do we have. This is not possible because this is uniformly varying load. It looks like bending diagram than a shear force diagram, so we will cross that. This is not possible as well. This is assuming that we don't have any reactions over here, and this is not possible either because we don't have any inclined forces over here. Incorrect. So correct option is option C. Let me move to the next one. This is a sign convention which I will use. We have to identify the correct shear force diagram. Ignoring self-weight, anti-clockwise shear forces are drawn on the positive side. If I draw the reflected shape of this beam, we will have something like this. We have a point load applied over here. This is a little bit confusing a question, so I'm not able to see which option is correct. So I will do small calculations for this option to see which one is correct. Let's do some simple calculations. Let us first of all assume value of W and value of L. Assume W to be 5 kilonewton and assume L to be 4 meters. When I have got these values, then I can substitute these values and apply equilibrium equations, and I can solve this. This is WL over 2, so W is 5, L is 4, 5 times 4 is 20, 20 divided by 2, this is 10 kilonewton, and value here is 4 meters, and we have a UDL of 5 kilonewton per meter, and we have a point load as well, which is W times L. 5 times 4 is 20, and these distances are L over 2. So I will say 2 meters and 2 meters. And I call this point as A, call this point as B. Let us say summation of A is equal to 0. I will have reactions over here. I call this reaction as VA, and I call this reaction as VB. So first I have this load. I will say minus 10 times 8 distance from that extreme end to point A, and it is creating anti-clockwise moment, so that's why it is negative. And then I have VB minus VB times 4. This is creating anti-clockwise moment as well. Then I have plus 20, which is the point load, times 2. Then I have uniformly distributed load, which is 5 times 4 times 4 over 2. This is all equal to 0. If you simplify this will be equal to 40, and 20 times 2, this will be 40 as well. And this is 80, so this, and this, they will get cancelled, which means VB is going to be 0. This was the key point over here, that VB is 0. When VB is 0, the entire force is taken by VA. It means we will sum up all the forces. So I will say summation of vertical forces is equal to 0. VA plus VB plus 10. 10 is this load, plus 20 plus 5 times 4 is UDL. So VB is 0. VA will be equal to 40, take away 10. This is equal to 30 kilonewton. So now we have these forces. Once we have got these forces, then we can plot the diagram very easily. We have upward force VA equal to 30. This was a pin support. Here we don't have any reaction. This is 2, 20, and 5. And we have upward force of 10 kilonewton. And this distance is 4 meters. So let us now draw the diagram. So this will go up. We start from right side and up to supports. This is 10 kilonewton, and I call this as plus. At this point, although I have a support over here, but support reaction is 0. When support reaction is 0, then I will simply subtract whatever loading I have up to this point. So up to this point I have 10. 5 times 2, and immediately at this end I have 20. So I will go down 20 minus 20, and between this point and at the end I have again 5 times 2, which is 10. So minus 10. So if I subtract minus 10, then I will have minus 30. At the end I have this reaction 30, which will bring it upwards, and overall this is negative. So this is how we draw a shear force diagram. This was a little bit of a challenging question. We had a UDL simply supported, we had a cantilever. The correct option, which looks like this, is option C. So option C is the correct one. Other options are wrong.